The thing about having concussions is that you will forget you had them, obviously. And that's something that I keep forgetting about, obviously. It's gotten, like, my memory over the years has gotten better. I always try to nail this analogy, but I get closer. I used to have, like, pretty much photographic memory when it came to most things. It was awesome. So, I guess the perfect way to describe how my memory has been since my brain issues is like imagine you have like amazing 4K quality like put on like amazing ass Blu-ray and you're watching a video and you're like, this is so amazing, you can see every single detail, every little bit is captured, but then it's like a scratched up ass CD, so every once in a while it'll stop, pause, or just skip to the next part, or and it's like, oh, what the fuck, and then you'll try to rewind to see if you can undo it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I don't know. It's interesting. Let's see. I guess I'm in the mood to talk about it. I remember my big concussion. That happened when I was 18, right, and it was Christmas. I remember that my mom made a lot of delicious food that day. I guess she was trying to make Christmas special because she knew that we had kind of stopped doing Christmas for fucking years. Because she was the type of bitch to tell a bunch of fucking kids under the age of 10, we aren't celebrating Christmas anymore because y'all never get me anything anyway, so why should I fucking try? It's like, man, that's not something you should yell at a bunch of people under the age, like, a bunch of people who are like fucking 10 about. You should take that up with your shitty ass husband. Like, your husband's the one who should be like, alright, kids, here's $10 each, let's go to CVS or something. Like, I'm just saying. None of us have bank accounts. Why are you mad at the children? We haven't even passed fourth grade. But anyway, she was trying to make Christmas fun again. Like, she had family over, friends over, this, and that. She was trying to make it special. She cooked a lot of delicious food for breakfast, and then afterwards she made a big feast for dinner. And I remember it was like hella fried chicken, hella mac and cheese. I think she made yams, collard greens. Ooh, there was like, she made these fruit smoothies, and it was like, oh my god, it was if I ever go to heaven, her food's gonna be there, even though she's gonna be in hell because she's a bitch. Sorry, I say a lot of fucked up things about my mother, but I think that's actually something I feel sorry for saying. Never mind, her food's gonna be in hell with her. Oh, you know what? Like, there's better food to be had, not at the hands of a terrible woman. But anyway, so she made a bunch of food. We all indulged, and I indulged a bit too hard. Because, usually, like, I'll say it, like, food was not exactly very common for me in general. And also, no offense, it wasn't the easiest living there. It was already like a very shitty home situation. But I guess she just decided to ball out for Christmas to hide the fact that it's shitty all the other fucking days of the year. And it was gonna be like, I'll put it this way. So, I ate a bunch of food as if there was no tomorrow. And I remember I went to go lay down, but then I couldn't quite sleep, but I couldn't quite move my body. My body felt fucked up. I was like sweating profusely, but also really cold and shivering. I think my blood sugar levels were too high because it's like I was kind of vibrating and shit. And I felt slumped, and I was like, this shit feels weird. Feels like everything's buzzing through my veins at once. I ate too much sugar, and I'm about to pass out. I had, like, it wasn't just the itis. It wasn't just a food coma. It was a full-on, this bitch might die. Plus, mind you, I didn't drink as much water as I should. I was known to drink a lot of water, but this was a day where I was more focused on giving myself endless amounts of sweets and fried chicken. So I wasn't really. So one thing led to another, and I remember I was on the top bunk of my bed, and I thought to myself, I have to try to get down and go to the kitchen to get some water very quick, because I don't know, I think I'm gonna pass out really soon, and I don't want to risk that shit. So it was already hard as fuck. I remember I grabbed the side of my bunk bed, and like I almost fell down the ladder and tripped. I fell down several rungs, and my grandmother, if I recall correctly, she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Mm-hmm." And I walked out my bedroom, more like stumbled. I was walking like hella slow, like slow motion level slow. And I was laying against the wall, and I thought to myself, oh shit, I feel really fucked up. I think I gotta go to the bathroom and make myself throw up or something. Or should I just go to the bathroom because it was weird. I left my bedroom, and it's like a super long hallway, and there was two paths I could go. I could go to the kitchen, you know, where there's a door here, and it would take me right to the kitchen, but it's a long ass way to go to the sink because it's like all the way forward. It was a big ass kitchen with a huge island and everything, so like one of those countertops. And then on the other side, it's like I could just go to the bathroom and then shove my face under the sink and go from there. But I was like, I don't think I can do it. So I remember Specifically this. I felt really fucked up and I was gonna go to the bathroom, but then my vision started blacking out kind of on my way there. And I was just fully slumped on the wall. Not like that, but like this. And I was just holding on for dear life, trying my best. And this next part is a little bit fuzzy to remember. Not just because I had a concussion, but also it's been like I was 18 when this happened. I'm 24 now. All I remember is that at some point, I thought to myself, like, let's just say I felt very weak. And as I was trying to simply enter the kitchen, that's when my body gave out. And I fell unconscious before I even fully hit the ground. But it was really funny because as my vision went dark, like, imagine this, your vision goes dark, and then you just hear a big ass. And then I remember I saw my vision went dark, and I just thought to myself, damn, that was one hard ass noise. I wonder what the fuck that was. Sounds like it hurt. But I didn't feel any body pain, because mind you, I'm unconscious. And then you just hear, ah! And then you hear my older brother, he's running through the place like, oh, shit. Ah! And then he kicks open my mom's door, and then he's like, Tamia's on the floor. Tamia passed out. She's on the floor right now. And then next thing you know, you just hear my mom and all the family coming in. They're like, oh my God, Tamia, wake up, get up. Oh my God. And then I was thinking to myself, that was me, that hard ass noise. Oh, okay. I can't feel a thing. Like I had an internal monologue going, but like in real life, my body was just slumped as fuck on the ground, eyes rolled back. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So one of my family members, like, they flashed a light in my face, trying to bring me consciousness, at least from what I can recall. And I could not move a single limb on my body, plus my head fucking hurt. And then that's when it started sounding like I was underwater. Because I guess I hit my head enough where, I don't know, maybe there's blood flowing in my brain when it shouldn't have been. In the wrong way. As in, like, I'm not... like, oh, okay, Tamia definitely has some sort of internal brain injury. They should have... Like, it literally sounded warbled as fuck, like, oh my God, are you okay? And no one could hear anything. I remember this specifically. My bitch of a sister, I don't think she got up. I think, like, I don't remember her getting her ass up. I think she still sat in the living room. That fucking bitch. At least from what my vision could tell from, like, what I could hardly see out of my eyes. But I will say this. Yeah, there I was, fucking sprawled out on the floor, my head cracked open, eyes rolled back, and to make matters worse, I was wearing, like, a maxi skirt as a dress. Because I usually just chill in my bedroom naked. That's how I am as a person. Like, I sleep naked and stuff, obviously. But when I fell down, so did my dress, but it also flew up. So my family just walked in and they found me unconscious on the ground, titties out, full eagle spread out, huge bush, the most, and funky, because I was sweating my ass off. My whole family had to see that. I just kind of thought to myself, fuck this shit. God, why have you forsaken me? I remember they were trying to get me up off the ground, and I just remember, like, they were trying to pull my ass up, but I had, like, no limb movement or head movement. My eyes were still rolled back and shit. They were concerned. But you still hear my mom go, can someone lift up her dress, please? Like, and you just see, like, multiple family members were trying to just, like, yank the fucking elastic over my bouncy ass, big ass titties and pull my dress down so they don't have to see a full bush that is not evenly trimmed. And then they eventually look my ass up and they bring me over to some stools, like, right on the countertop island or whatever. And I'm just sitting there, like, this. And I can't hear shit at this point. My hearing just got basically damn near fully gone. It sounds like how one would sound if they were under a swimming pool. And my vision was still going in and out, in and out, in and out. Super, super bad. And it's funny because the side that I fell on wasn't in pain, but this side was, which was interesting. Like, and also to this day, sometimes I'll get pissed off or, like, upset or anything, and I'll just feel something in this area get fucked up. I don't know, but I forget if I had x-rays done before. I forget. Who knows? I can always get them done again. Well, what's funny is I didn't get medical help for years, but I'm gonna save that. You forget I said that. Now, mind you, I remember specifically I was sitting on the counter stool, and I guess my mom, she was paranoid and freaking out, and she started just throwing accusations. Suddenly, she was like, did anyone get into that bottle in the fridge? Because y'all weren't supposed to touch that. No one's supposed to touch that motherfucking bottle. And, this was before I started, like, drinking ever. Like, I was known to not be an alcohol person, remotely. And my sister said some sort of bitchy shit because she's a bitch. She's not a good person. She's like, I think it was something like, my mom was like, did y'all touch that bottle in the fridge? Did you give to me at any? Because you're not supposed to touch that. I want anyone drinking that shit. But, and then, like, my sister was like, no, she just fell out of nowhere. No one, we're not responsible for why she fell. Like, we didn't have anything to do with her. She just fell out of nowhere. Something's up with her. And then, like, she was being a cunt because she's a fucking cunt. I don't like her. She's a bitch. Then again, it's like, whatever. I'm just saying, she needs to go to therapy. We all need therapy. Well, all of us got therapy except for my mother, the one who really needed it. But either way, then my mom just started, like, she doesn't know how to handle stuff because she's not a smart woman. She can tell I'm not listening. So I guess, like, as my mom is talking and trying to talk to me or other people, she just keeps going, Tamia! And then I wake up from my weird little half asleep, half unconscious thing, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, did you drink from that bottle in the fridge? No, what bottle? I don't drink. My head hurts. Oh. And I'm pretty sure they could have. I get why she would have thought that, but it's like, no, I hate to break it to you. Your girl is such a lightweight that all it took was just one too many pieces of fruit and fried chicken, and she's unconscious on the floor and acting like this. Plus, I had a fucking concussion. Of course, I was gonna be silly. And I hardly remember what happened next after that. I think they just kept trying to keep me awake because I heard it's, like, bad for someone who had a concussion to go back to sleep or whatever. But I truly do not remember what comes next after this point. Which makes sense. I was the one with the fucking concussion. But all I will say is I remember the next few days, like, they were like my mom would be like, hey, Tamia, you okay? Don't forget to schedule your appointment with Kaiser. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And then I'd forget whatever she said like 10 seconds later because of fucking course I would. And then rinse and repeat for several days. It's like, why would you put the person... Why wouldn't they take me to a hospital? Like, I get it, hospital bills and shit, but it's like, come on now. Like, when I was younger, it would be like, oh, hey, we brought our daughter who's allergic to cats to this place full of cat hair, and now she's wheezing a bit. We should take her to the emergency room. It's like, you did that for me when I was younger, but now that it's like, oh, hey, my fucking teenage daughter fell unconscious in our household, and she says everything sounds like she's underwater, and she can't get her eyes from the back of her head. Let her sleep on it. Really? Also, I'm pretty sure my sister tried to allude that I did it for attention. Why would I fall for attention? I don't know. She's a stupid bitch. Or at the very least, she acted like that. She was very annoying. But I will say this. I had a great... eventually, I remember specifically that after, 2 or 3 days passed or something, my mom was like, did you schedule your appointment for Kaiser? And I said, huh? And she said, did you schedule your appointment with Kaiser to get your head checked? And I was like, oh, no, I haven't done it yet. And then she would get either, directly just start yelling at me or shouting and acting like I was such a dumb bitch asshole. Or she would just get, cold, seething silent treatment and be like, I don't get why you haven't done it yet. And then walk away. It's so funny when I meet people like that in my life. I remember I worked this one job as a concierge, and I told my manager, I was like, hi, just so you know, I've worked here for quite a while, but they never truly taught me how to do this task. Can you show me how to do it? And then the manager went, I can't believe you don't know how to do this. And then proceeded to not show me, so I proceeded to get away with not knowing how to do that task for about another solid year or two of working that job, because bitches are dumb. But whatever. So it's kind of like that. It's like, I don't know, it's like the same shit as when a teacher is like, how don't you know this material? It's like, bitch, you didn't teach it to us properly. That's a you problem, not a me. Why would you expect the person whose brain is bleeding and whose skull is cracked and who forgets everything every fucking 10 seconds? Why would you expect me? Why would you... All those grown adults in the house who could have been like, let's at least, help her do it. They would do it on her behalf because we have her fucking information. What the fuck? Anyway, but considering, let's just say my mental processing a bunch of shit went downhill after that point. I remember actually sometime a year or so ago, I was talking to this fucking they-them chick, or whatever. No, I think they're non-binary, but they were hot, whatever. I'm also non-binary, don't get too mad at me. But either way, we were driving in a car, because she was my Uber driver, obviously. And like, we were talking about goals and stuff, and I remember I was talking to her, and she was talking about stuff that she's achieved and wants to achieve, and I was talking about how I used to do modeling and screenwriting and this and that, but I just kind of, and she was like, oh, well, why do you mean past tense? Like, why haven't you kept it up? And I said something along the lines of, I don't know, honestly, I don't, like, something just happened, and I just stopped having the motivation or the focus or the drive and the ambition, and it all just kind of vanished. I don't know, I just said, I don't know. Just out of nowhere, it all kind of stopped, and I don't quite know why. And it makes me really sad to think about. And this bitch, she started going all sorts of like, oh, see, that's just your negative self-talk talking, because there's nothing. And she wasn't saying it like to be sweet or to like hype me up. She was just being like, see, that's just an excuse. You're just like, the only person stopping you from your dreams is you, and don't be lazy and just give up. Like, no one's stopping you but you. So I don't see why you're not. Like, just do it. It's not that fucking hard. And she had an attitude, which is wild, because it's like, bitch, your job is in my hands. I can give you a 4-star review and it'll fuck your whole life up. And I know you're like, what? Not even a 1-star? You can give an Uber driver a 4-star review and it'll fuck with them just as much, if not worse, as if you gave them a 1-star. I learned that. And then I remember she was making me feel bad, and then I chimed in like, oh, I just remembered something. And she was like, what? And I said, I had a fucking concussion when I was 18. Why? That fucked with me for like years. No wonder I stopped, because my fucking skull was busted open. And she was like, oh, shit. I'm sorry. And I was like, shit. I entirely forgot. And I was like, I entirely forgot. I had a fucking life-changing concussion that fucked with my ability to process things, ability to remember. I couldn't even do something as, like, just everything went wrong after that. And she started feeling bad. She was like, I am so sorry. Fuck, I feel really bad. Like, bitch, yeah, you should feel bad. Yeah, shit like that. Anyway, I don't know. I will say this, though, the benefit of a concussion is that it did kind of help me get over a guy faster. Because I remember I got out of this really traumatic, like, fucked up ass situationship over the summer. And then and also I was still really recovering from all the terrible shit that happened to me when I was a high schooler. Like, if there's anything like, I'll put it this way. Suffering for 4 years in high school and having endless childhood trauma and also a very traumatic home life, and then on top of that, having a fucked up, stupid ass situationship who makes your life worse for no fucking reason, all of that is awful. But you know what? I got my brain blasted, and it kind of helped me recover. Because I don't even think I remember what had happened after. So I was 18. Damn, I really don't remember what happened for any other time of 2019. Interesting. Wait, no, in February, that's when I met somebody. But yeah, I really don't remember a lot of shit. Don't worry, I did enough journaling and writing, and like, it was something I learned is like the best thing you can do is write every day, blog every day, vlog every day, record yourself every day, so that then I can keep track of my progress. And because of that, like, I'm actually getting right back to where I was before. Not 100% though, but it does feel weird where basically I got ADHD or whatever the fuck. I don't think I had it before. Maybe I did as a child and it just was super unnoticed or whatever because I had a routine and whatever the fuck. But then leaving high school and then getting a concussion that changes the way your brain functions for an extremely long time, very fucking, yeah, very weird. So the concussion made me forget a bunch of trauma, but it also made every single day just like all blend the same without any real differences. And for years, people knew me where I could be talking about something and then I would feel that like tension in the side of my brain. So I could be like, yeah, and so with that guy, he had this turtle. And when the turtle mounted the other, it was... Sorry, what were we talking about? And then they'd be like, Tamia, you know what we were talking about. Take a second. And then I'd be like, it's not coming back. And they were like, oh shit, you weren't kidding. You don't remember anything about what we said? No. What did we just say? And I would just fully run a blank, and then they'd have to re-explain it to me, whatever the fuck we were talking about. And that happened for years. It's only, I'd say, thankfully the pandemic, in one way or another, somehow it stopped. I'd say like maybe 3 years ago it stopped. Thank fucking God. It feels good to at least, like, even though I'll still have moments where it's like, if you were like, hey, Tamia, what did you do last night? I can tell you. If you're like, what did you do yesterday morning? Bullshitted. It's like, what did you do last week? I could probably tell you. Like, I'm getting better. There's still parts that would definitely be missing. It's why I try to over document my life as much as possible, which is nice because I have a little dialogue. A bunch of different platforms where it's like, okay, this is me when I was 12 all the way up to 24, and we know how my life has gone. But yeah, it was very fascinating. It's not the last time I've gotten it multiple times too. That's not the. I'm sure it's not the first time I've had a concussion, or I don't know. I don't remember anyone before that fucking one. But actually, that might have been my first time getting a really serious big concussion. And it wasn't the last time, because even over the past few years, it's like, okay, I remember on my birthday when I turned 23. Yeah, I remember my ex-boyfriend Morgan. He was such a cunt that day. One thing led to another. My head got slammed on, I forget if it was the back of the seat or the front or the window. Multiple. Wait, no, it was the side of his door. I slammed my head on the side of his door because I'm mentally unstable at times, and he's a fucking cunt. And next thing you know, I remember that I could hardly sleep that evening because it felt like my head was being pressed between like two steel plates, like those fucked up ASMR videos you see on Facebook of things getting crushed in a steel press. Except imagine that, but with my head. It felt disgusting, and it did feel like something was leaking in my brain internally. Yeah. And the nigga still wanted to try to pressure me to have sex. It's like, boo-hoo, you can't fuck me after ruining my birthday just because you got me some motherfucking orange juice with a burger and fries, you fucking cunt. Also, in hindsight, God, he could have taken me to Benihana, because at Benihana, whatever, he's a cunt. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. So I was just thinking about how he fucked on my birthday dinner, but that's a story for another time. I remember later, yeah, the next year with the guy I dated after him, that terrible asshole. I remember one of our worst dates was we went to Dave and Buster's. I was overstimulated, and he was making it worse because he was insecure, so he kept assuming, Tamia probably fucking hates me, and she thinks I did terrible, and she's never gonna want to see me again, blah blah blah. And I kept saying, no, it's fine, and I would happily see you again. We just should leave this place. But he kept it up for like fucking over 30 minutes, and then even as we left, one of the first things he said in the car with me, when I was just trying, after multiple times over 30 minutes of me saying, I don't hate you for this is just like the shitty establishment making us wait hella long for food and being hella rude and this and that. You did nothing wrong, and I still entirely like you, and you haven't changed my opinion. You want to know what this stupid motherfucker said? He was like, so I think you probably fucking hate me now, right? I think I fucked up too bad. You don't want to see me again, right? And it's like, it was like dealing with a fucking insecure teenage girl. Now, me, I lost my shit and started crying hysterically and slamming the back of my head on the back of his seat, because if I'll put it this way, do not put me in a situation where I can have a breakdown in a car. It gets messy. Anyway, so that was another concussion I had, and that one was actually so severe that I remembered I thought I was going to die, because the exact same situation of like, it felt like there was fluids leaking into my brain. My vision was blurry, as if it was like raining into my eyes. Like, my vision was blurry and vision was shaking, head throbbing, couldn't hear shit, was losing consciousness. But that ex, he picked me up. He lived hella far away, but he immediately was like, hey, I'm gonna pick you up and we can get food and get you moving, and we can see if that like helps. Otherwise, I think you should really go to a hospital, because no offense, you are showing signs of, I looked up your symptoms, this is the sign of someone who has a concussion who's gonna fucking die. And miraculously, I got my ass up and got dressed, and it was like nothing ever happened. And I don't think anything else happened after that. That was really surreal. It's amazing how my brain was just like, nope. Sometimes that happens with me. Like, sometimes I'll get food poisoning, and then like it's like, okay, sure, I vomited 80 times in one day, and I know I shouldn't eat a Little Caesars pizza, but you know what I'm gonna get? A Little Caesars pizza, and then I'll eat that shit, and then suddenly no more vomiting. I don't know. It's just, I get lucky sometimes. Ah, yeah, concussions are, and I'm sure I had one more, but I forget. Either way, yeah, they are very fucked up. Yeah, concussions can really fuck your life up. It felt so bad. It's like, okay, shit. Like, on the good side, it's like, okay, I was too out of it to remember anything bad that happened to me ever. So I couldn't have my PTSD, and yes, actual PTSD, like diagnosed and everything. You fucking assholes. That wasn't affecting me, thank God. But it's like every day was like a weird little limbo, and I couldn't remember conversations, couldn't talk. Like, also, this was something that happened for years, and it still like pisses me off. It like, sometimes I could be in. Yeah, this is also something that I think kind of has affected how I rage even today. If I'm way too angry at something, sometimes like way too furious, Like I'm about to lose my fucking shit. Sometimes my brain just like fully draws a blank. Kind of like imagine if you were going to like start raging at a video game hard level and then it just simply, your computer unplugged at that exact moment and you forget what you're raging about. So then it'd be like a clean slate, like a total swipe, blank space. And then I'd go back to being calm. It's like, huh. And people would notice. I would get close to losing my shit on people, then be like, huh, what were we talking about again? Oh, well, I don't care anymore. And then I just go about my life. Or like sometimes that worked for certain situations, sometimes it failed. Other times it would be like, if I was in this, like, let's say I had too good of a night, like I had too much fun at a party, or a great time socializing, or a great time laughing with someone, the same thing would happen. Like something in my brain would just fuck up, and it would be like, oh, okay, I'm laughing with this friend and we're having an amazing time, or I just had amazing sex with someone, the bond is great, I'm having such a good blank slate. And like by the next morning I would probably forget that it happened, unless I really got lucky and I journaled it down or recorded it or something like that. And that's also a factor to why I post so much the way I do. I want to make sure I remember things. Hell, I don't even remember most of the videos I post. Hell, it's very interesting. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now. Yeah, but it's like it did change a lot, because it's like every single day I used to, when I was a teenager, every single day I would go at that house, or try to, and then I would do screenwriting, or I would make a list of goals and achieve them. But when you have a concussion, it's like you'll make a list of goals, walk to the bathroom, come back, your list is gone because you don't remember where you placed it, or you keep forgetting that you wrote a list, and then you'll keep writing more and more lists. That is something that I still do to this day, is that I'll write a list of tasks to achieve and then forget I made one, and then come back home and be like, oh, okay, cool, I have a free moment, I don't know what I should do with my time. Like I literally have to list, this is something that I still have to do this day, I have to write a list of hobbies, because otherwise I will forget my hobbies. Sorry, I was just touching the back of my cornrows, and then I kind of realized, it's like, okay, some of these cornrows, sorry, one second. Some of these cornrows attach perfectly in the. Sorry, I'll show you later. Don't look at my bedroom. Where the fuck did this come from? Because it's like every cornrow is attached to my head, but then this one's loose? What the fuck happened here? I think I paid too much for these. Whatever. Anyway, now I'm really mad. What the fuck is this? Anyway, well, that threw me off. Yeah, so, moral of the story, concussions fucking suck. And I used to be one of those extremely organized people who had her whole life planned out, but that threw me for a loop. And then next thing you know, you're 24 years old and you still have to write down a list of like hobbies that you'll do during certain types of weather, certain time periods, this, and like block out your own schedule and shit so that you remember. And you'll still kind of have to be like, all right, hope this works out and hope I don't lose the list. But you know you'll lose the list. And even if you do have the list, you probably will not have enough like dopamine or goodness flowing in your fucked up brain anymore to actually get you to have the drive and ambition to do the things. But the follow through. It's very surreal and weird, but I don't know. I still find normalcy every now and then, so I'm glad that I find, I still have certain social scenes I'm in to have a consistent schedule and do this and do that. And I found jobs that work for me and how much I can handle with my brain, and it's not all totally bad. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say for now. I have to go text my braider and be like, what the fuck is this? Bye.